Hi, this is Rori Raye and welcome to Rori Raye Watercolor Your Love Life. Today is sort of the introduction. What is this about? How can watercolor be about love? How can it be about fixing a relationship? Well, it's just another tool. It's different than breathing or any kind of specific tool you might know up to now. It has to do with art and watercolor specifically. So what is it about watercolor that's so unique? It's because it's completely unpredictable. You're working with water as well as paint. And there are many ways to approach watercolor, and every one of them is not under your control. So it is an art that is not under your control. There are a lot of arts like this, printing, where you put ink on an etching, let's say, and then put it through a machine. It is unpredictable. You don't know for sure what the ink will do. Clay has its properties that kind of push back at you, and stone, if you were going to cut it, or wood, would open up something that would be unique and unpredictable. So with watercolor, there's the paint materials that all have a slightly unpredictable way of reacting with the water and the paper. You have paper, which has its own qualities, and all of the paper reacts differently to the water and the paint. And you have brushes. And you have the complete and absolute unpredictability of water. So we're going to work with that. So what does that have to do with love? Because love is an emotional experience. No human being understands their reasons for feeling love. They just feel an attraction, they feel an emotional sense, they feel a connection. It doesn't make sense in your brain. It's not a spiritual thing. In the whole Modern Siren toolbook, this is basically what we focus on, which is what is in your heart, who you are authentically, what it is you love, what it is you want. That is the you that attracts the man for you, who will appreciate and be involved in and love all of those qualities that you have. And if you try to cover it over with being nice or being a certain way that you've learned to be, or strategies that some love coaches talk about, you will in a sense block that real man who will appreciate the real you from finding you. Just like perfume might cover up your real scent. So what we're going to do with watercolor here is to show the uncontrollability of this art, and to let you practice it and maybe get in the swing of it, so that as you do it, you will start to feel more in tune with your own unpredictability, with the part about emotions that is not harnessable. So this is our introduction. You are in for it. You're in for real art training: brushes, paints, water, paper, drawing, how to approach from my point of view, which is different from so many of the teachers that I've worked with over the years. This is my studio. Welcome. You can see I'm involved in portraits. I like to do landscapes. I am always working on experimenting and trying new things and opening myself up. And when I started being a watercolor painter, started art classes, I've always done art of one kind or another, but when I discovered watercolor, it was all about creating a serenity for me, when I was always a workaholic by nature and always working and always thinking. It was a way to really get into my feminine energy. So Watercolor Your Love Life is really about finding a new tool to get into your feminine energy that will open up your heart and your natural pathways, so that your man can find you, or the man you're with, you can deepen that relationship with.